Dragon Ball Super, episode 90. Facing the wall that must be overcome, Goku vs. Gohan. Koerubeki Kabe no Misuete, Goku Bāsasu Gohan. Now, if I were to pick one word to describe this episode, it would be intense. It was mostly just one big fight, starting with 4 fighters, going down to 2 between Goku and Gohan, obviously. And it was overall really cool. But the episode starts off with Goku, Tien, Roshi, and Chaozu sitting at dinner. You know, Goku's being his usual self, chowing down, running up the bill, and Tien's looking at his wallet, and he's like, I really need that 10 million zenny. Because he's still in the dark that the whole entire freaking universe is at stake here. I mean, and you would think he would probably fight a lot harder knowing that the universe is at stake. And later on in the episode, you see Tien's reaction to Gohan, and it's a little bit understandable because he's the only one in that bunch that doesn't know what's going on. Except, of course, Roshi and Chaozu. So while they're eating, Gohan and Piccolo walk into the restaurant, and Gohan's got this super serious look on his face. It's almost like a different character. He's like serious through this entire episode, and he's like, I want to show off my power, which makes me think, how did Piccolo train him up to be like this much stronger? He was already stronger than him at the end of that last episode where they were training. So I guess he's just been trying to get Gohan to pull out more and more and more power as these, 5 or 10 hours have passed. So they go out, they agree to go out and start, have a little bit of a sparring match. And it starts out massively intense. Gohan is super serious here. Rocks are like starting to lift up. The scenery is really awesome and really dark. And everything is shaking. So Goku and Gohan fight a little bit. And it's really interesting because at first I'm thinking Gohan is in his base form. So I'm thinking, okay, Gohan has trained himself up to where his base is about equal to Goku's base now. Okay, I can accept that. That's fine. Or you could say that he was in his ultimate form, although that's debatable because he powers up a little bit after that. And at that point, you could say that he's in his ultimate form. So then Goku and Tien decide to go and rush Piccolo and Gohan. And so they start rushing him, and Tien's like about to get Piccolo. But then Gohan goes right in the way and gut punches the shit out of Tien. Holy crap, that was a big blow right there. And I was thinking before this episode started, how is Tien going to match up with these guys? Well, the answer is he doesn't, which is highly disappointing for me as a fan of Tien. And I've been hoping he would get some amount of, badassness thrown his way. And we almost got it in this episode when he almost did the tri-beam against Piccolo. He even shouted the name, but Goku saying he has got Gohan handled. Well, he didn't. He freaking lost track of Gohan, and Gohan shot a thing at Tien, distracting his tri-beam. So that kind of sucked for Tien, and he was basically just like wiped out after that. Okay, they chose Tien to fight instead of Roshi. So from that last episode where Roshi got the better of Tien, this kind of makes me think, okay, Tien is stronger than Roshi? Or maybe that's just how they decided to do it, having Tien and Goku instead of Roshi and Goku. And during this point in the episode, you really get a good taste of that team dynamic where right after Tien gets knocked down again, he warns Goku to look behind him because Piccolo's been charging this attack for a while, and then he lets it loose. I think this is the super explosive wave. I'm not 100%, don't quote me on that, but that was freaking awesome and actually made sense to me because Piccolo charging up a giant attack like that, I can see that matching up with Goku's base form. And Goku even says that he just barely avoided that one or it almost got him or something like that. But that was really awesome. That was a really cool Piccolo moment. But during the whole fight, Gohan's really, really super intense. And Tien's like, man, what's going on with you? This is just supposed to be a sparring match, and you're so serious, and I think that's enough for now. And then Gohan says, I don't want to stop, I want to test my power. And Goku agrees to stop, but then he says, oh, okay, we'll continue on, just Gohan and me. So he goes Super Saiyan 2, and is matching up with Gohan again. Okay, I'll accept that Gohan is as strong as Goku in his Super Saiyan 2 form right now after all that training. Because it has only been like 10 or so hours of training. Now, if they went in the hyperbolic time chamber, it would make a lot more sense. And I like things to flow. I like things to make sense. Somebody training for 10 hours and going from wherever he was to Super Saiyan 2 Goku level, that is a stretch to me. But I'm able to accept it, especially with how it was executed in this episode, with how intense it was. The animation was really cool, and you actually felt like Gohan was actively pulling out more and more power that he hadn't had before. So he kind of keeps raising his maximum level, basically. That's kind of how I felt while I was watching this. So, and they also ate senzu beans for some reason. It felt like neither of them were tired at all, but they felt the need to eat the senzu beans. And then so in the middle of this fight, they cut to Universe 10 and introducing Universe 10's team with the muscular guy, and then everybody else is cloaked because they didn't design those characters yet. But the guy was really funny. He seemed like a parody of some sort. I don't know where from, but it felt like he was a parody of some other like pop culture figure or some wrestling guy or something. And it was interesting how the God of Destruction and Angel were thinking, oh, it's all down to strength, which is opposing to Universe 7's viewpoint of the teamwork and using their brains over their brawn, which I think is a smarter way to go about it. But that was a cool little snippet of a scene, seeing another universe getting their shit together. So after turning Super Saiyan 2, the animation was really, really fast with their like punching at each other. And then a really cool part was when Goku is shooting off those thousands of little energy blasts at Gohan, and Gohan's like kicking him and punching him all around. That was freaking awesome, but this looked really cool to me. And at that point, it seems like Goku was getting the better of Gohan as a Super Saiyan 2, but then Gohan started to get the better of Goku. And then Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, and then Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and lost me a little bit. Because at that point, I was able to accept the continuity of Gohan training for just a few hours and able to pull out that power, especially with Piccolo's help. But again, like with Roshi, like with Android 17, Frieza, they really wrote themselves into a corner with this 40-hour thing, I think. If it was 40 days, I can see Gohan possibly getting up to Super Saiyan Blue levels, possibly, with like hyperbolic time chamber or special training of some sort. But he was just training with Piccolo. There wasn't any special training. Piccolo was just giving him advice on how his mind should be when he's fighting, you know, get over his mental blocks and everything. But it just doesn't make sense to me. For more on that, check out our Android 17 video. It's a good video on why we think that doesn't make sense. But this was still really badass. It was still an intense fight. It looked great. And in the end, Goku won with that, like, when they flew and crossed each other. And you're thinking, oh, wait, who won? And during that few seconds, I'm thinking, it better be Goku. Please be Goku that wins this. Even though I like Gohan more, I just like things to make sense more. But yeah, Goku wins, and then they thumbs up each other. That didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. So I really did enjoy this episode, other than that power scaling thing. It was really intense. I loved the fight. I wish there was a little bit more Tien action, of course, because they kind of left us in the dust with that in the actual Tien episode. And now they kind of left us in the dust again with this episode. It's like they're trying to tease the fans of Tien. I just want to see him do some badass stuff. That's all I want. But overall, it was a cool episode. I enjoyed it a lot. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Do you agree with me in Gohan being too strong after such little training? Or do you think it's fine? Like and share the video if you liked it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I've got planned some more Dragon Ball Z videos in the future. So subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later.